Hey there, lovely. If you're a driven and highly ambitious woman who has checked all the boxes, followed all the rules, only to realize you don't actually feel fulfilled or you don't feel like you're living your purpose, then you are absolutely in the right place. My name is Melissa Chavis. I'm an intuitive mindset coach, and I am absolutely obsessed with helping you discover your true purpose, that thing you were put here on this earth to do, so that you can live the most fulfilling and abundant life possible. Hey there, beautiful. Welcome back to another episode of the Authentic Awakening podcast. So, I was recently listening to another podcast where the host went through a list of practices or habits that have really helped her in her life. And so I thought, why not do the same thing here? So I have come up with a list of the 3 daily habits that have actually changed my life. I truly believe that real sustainable change happens through the small actions that we take on a daily basis. Sure, making those big leaps and taking big, scary action is helpful in certain situations. But I think ultimately, over time, the real change happens when you can implement different practices or habits into your daily life so that those changes happen bit by bit over time. There are 3 daily habits that I have really integrated into my life and that am very consistent with and practice on a daily basis. And I truly believe that a lot of the change that I've seen in my life over the last several years is due to, in large part, these 3 daily habits. Habit number 1 is something super, super simple and very easy to implement, but will have truly a huge impact in your life if you stick with it and are consistent with this practice. Essentially, it works because it really changes the way that you are feeling. It changes your vibration. And I think that a lot of our experience from day to day has to do with how we're feeling in any given moment. It's that, high vibe energy that you hear about that really impacts how you experience life, basically. And so this one habit will get you into that place first thing every day so that you can move into your day in this different emotional state. And that is the practice of gratitude. So, how do I implement this in my life? Every morning, as soon as I wake up, like literally as soon as I open my eyes, before I've even gotten out of bed, I try to think of 3 things I'm grateful for in that moment. And so for me, a lot of times, of course, because I do this first thing in the morning, it's like, I'm grateful that I woke up for another day. I'm grateful that I have a warm, comfortable bed to sleep in at night. Or, I'm grateful that I woke up today and I have my health and I feel good. So it can be very, very simple and literally takes, I don't know, 30 seconds. I've never timed it, but it doesn't take long to come up with just 3 things that you're thankful for as soon as you wake up in the morning. And so this practice of thinking about the things you're grateful for will raise your vibration. It makes you feel better when you are in that state of gratitude. You just feel better. And so you literally wake up in the morning and you get out of bed feeling good, feeling grateful, just in a better place to start out your day. And so that is incredibly impactful for how you then move through the rest of your day. And as I said, I truly believe that our experience of life and how we perceive life has a lot to do with how we're feeling and how we're moving through our days. So trust me, when you implement this and you're consistent with it on a daily basis, it actually will change your life. All right. So practice number 2 is also super simple and incredibly easy to implement. Maybe takes a little bit more effort than number 1, but not much more. I really think that you can see a huge impact in your life with just literally 5 minutes a day of this practice. And honestly, I would credit very much of my ability to get out of a cycle of overthinking everything and worrying about things to this practice and number 3. Practice number 2 is daily meditation. And so I know a lot of people, when they start to try and meditate, they kind of feel like this isn't for me. I can't do it. I just can't still my mind enough. I can't sit there and not think about 500 different things for 5 minutes. And I get it. It can be challenging in the beginning, but if you're one of those people that feels like that, if you've tried it before and you're just like, yeah, it doesn't work for me, I would highly encourage you to give it another shot and, start with, like I said, even just 5 minutes to start with can truly make a difference. And also starting with a guided meditation, I think is really helpful because I think it's a lot easier to keep your mind focused on someone's voice and someone talking you through the process versus just sitting there trying to not think about anything or, not let your mind wander in the moment. So I highly recommend starting with 5 minutes and starting with a guided meditation if you've ever felt like meditation was challenging for you. The other thing is there's this amazing free app that I absolutely love. It's called Insight Timer. And it's, like I said, it's free. There are thousands of meditations available on there for you to listen to. I will go ahead and include a link here in the show notes if you want to check it out. Like I said, I highly recommend it. I use it every single day. And also, the other thing with meditation is that it really will get easier and more comfortable over time. You will get better and better at just allowing yourself to be still and be in that moment and just let go of all of the thoughts and everything that's probably constantly racing through your mind. So it will get easier over time. It's just you have to stick with it and keep going, essentially, even though it might feel challenging to begin with. And I can promise you, when you do stick with it and when you do create a consistent habit around this, you will experience changes in your life and changes in how you move through your day. And finally, habit number 3 is something that I literally recommend to every single client inside my coaching practice, as well as pretty much everyone I know and everyone I have a conversation with, because I'm kind of obsessed with this. And I feel like this combined with, well, with numbers 1 and 2 is just truly, I mean, I keep saying this, truly life-changing. Like this will create such a different headspace for you as you move through your day. And it is journaling. I love journaling. I will rave about the benefits of journaling every single day. And I also know that even for me, it was a really challenging habit to stick with in the beginning because what I would do is, I would be like, oh, I'm going to journal. I'm going to do this. I feel like it will be helpful for me. And I would start journaling for a few days and then I would kind of fall off and it would be another few weeks or months before I picked it back up again. And it was just like, oh, I don't know. Journaling seems like it could help, but I just can't stick with it until finally I understood conceptually how it could really be helpful. And so I found a way to make it a daily practice and make sure that I'm doing it consistently and have seen massive changes because of it. essentially what journaling does is it helps you to get all of those thoughts and feelings that are just constantly swirling in there out onto a piece of paper in front of you so that you can view them from this more objective lens so that you can see them in front of you and create this different viewpoint from which to see them. And one of the biggest pieces about creating any true, lasting, sustainable change in your life is being able to observe and be more objective in that observation of your thoughts and your feelings. Because truly, your thoughts, the way you think about things, the way you think about yourself, the world around you, that is what creates your experience of life. And so when you're able to see it, view it more objectively, and dig into it, kind of figure out what's really going on there, you're then able to make changes and create changes in the way that you think. And changing the way that you think is what changes your life, because your thoughts truly are everything. Your viewpoint and the way you see the world and the way you move through your day is essentially, that's your experience of life. That is what you experience. And so when you can change those things and when you can see things differently, your experience of life changes. Your life changes. And so I think at the end of the day, what is really, really impactful is when you can basically do what we call habit stacking, where you're putting all three of these practices together consistently on a daily basis. And everything combined really helps you to get to a place where you wake up in the morning, you change your vibration, you change your emotions and the way that you're feeling through that gratitude practice. And then you still your mind and you sit in stillness and sit with yourself for a few minutes through meditation. And then you do some journaling and kind of start getting things out in front of you and kind of being able to really start your day from this observer, objective viewpoint. And then as soon as you go into your day and you start doing all of your activities of daily living, all the things that you have to do in that day, you're starting from a totally different headspace and heart space, truly. And so when you can think and feel differently as you move into the day, your life will change. The way that you approach things will be different. And that is ultimately what we're after when we want to make changes in our life, when we want to create a different life for ourselves and move through life differently. This is how we do it. We do it by changing the way we're thinking, the way we're seeing things, and then changing our actions based on that. Okay, so that's it. Those are my top 3 daily habits or practices that I've implemented in my life that have truly made the biggest impact for me. And so I would love to hear from you. If you try any of these out, I highly recommend trying out all 3, because realistically, you could get this done in like 10 minutes, 10 and a half minutes, if you count the 30 seconds that it takes you for the gratitude practice each morning before you start your day. And I would just love to hear from you. If you've tried this, or if you do try this, let me know what you think. Just send me a DM on Instagram. I'm at Melissa Ann Chavis and would absolutely love to hear from you. Until next time, my friend, have a beautiful rest of your day. That's it for another episode of the Authentic Awakening podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you found it helpful, I'd love to hear from you. You can do that by liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel or rating and reviewing the podcast wherever you're listening.